Welcome to the What the Hell Show.
Hi, when I watch the What the Hell Show on YouTube, I just want to hula hoop. Woo! Thanks, Judge, Jezzy, and Pete. You guys rock my world. Woo!
Hi, folks. This is a little offbeat, but nothing like a university study to get my blood boiling. I found this at the Winnipeg Free Press up there in Canada. It's a study, well, done in the United States, but, you know, they're too embarrassed to show it down there. What they are showing, though, is the study here, you know, in Toronto where they talk about it. And it's a new U.S. study looking at injuries and deaths of pedestrians who were wearing headphones. And it found that trains were involved in more than half of the cases identified. What do you think of that, Judge?
Well, I find that really weird, because how many times do you actually sort of walk across a road, and how many times do you cross a railway track? You know, you're much more likely to get knocked over by a car than a train over it.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
So I find that very strange.
And then the researchers, you know, they studied databases from reports from 2004 to 2011 of accidents involving people wearing headphones. That's 7 years of data, you know. Yeah. I mean, you know. And what did they find, Judge?
Well, they found that there were 116 reports of death or injury of pedestrians wearing headphones, of which 81 were fatal. So if you work that out for 7 years, that's about 11 people a year. So it's not, you know, it's not a massive amount, really, is it?
Yeah.
When you take it in comparison to the number of people that are killed in a car.
Oh yeah, and I love this line. During the study period, the number of cases tripled. Well, you know, people didn't wear headphones listening to music, you know, before 2004, really, when the iPod, you know, came out.
Right.
Yeah. Well, 55% of the accidents that the researchers identified involved trains. Now, what the hell?
That just, like I said, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's really, really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, does it mean that people wearing headphones are more likely to walk on train tracks? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, is there some subliminal thing going on where if I'm listening to my MP3, my iPod, and I'm walking around, I get drawn to fucking train tracks?
Yeah. There's some sort of subliminal message put out on music that's sent out on iPads, so that it actually draws you to trains for some reason.
Well, it could be. And another thing, and the majority of victims, over 50%, were male and under the age of 30. So if you're, you know, some dumb punk wearing a MP3 player, you better watch out if you're close to a train.
The majority of people that wear headphones around the streets are male and under the age of 30. So, you know, that's pretty bloody obvious, actually.
Yeah. Now, another thing they didn't consider was suicidal intentions, substance abuse, mental illness. I mean, what do you think of that?
May have played a
role.
Suicidal intentions, they probably have something to do with somebody throwing themselves in front of a train.
Yeah.
Or substance abuse, so that these people are so stoned they don't even see the train. You know?
Yeah, they're so into the music because, you know, they took a toke and, you know, substance abuse, mental illness, suicide. I'm thinking most people that walked into a train with an iPod probably were this group that they didn't study, you know.
Yeah, the suicidal people, or mental illness, or substance abuse. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Well, they also say that the use of cell phones and MP3 players is increasing. Did you know that, Judge, here in 2012?
No, that's a total shock to me. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, a university just published a study, and they just, now are figuring out that the use of cell phones and MP3 players is increasing. Oh, my God. And the risk posts, they're well documented. I don't know why they, think that they're increasing now. I think about everybody that's got an MP3 player already has one. But
I love this bit as well. The danger in using headphones as a pedestrian may be explained by two phenomena.
yeah.
Auditory masking of outside stimuli. Well, obviously, that's what bloody headphones are for.
Yeah,
it's because you're sort of going, yeah, this is a fantastic track with your eyes closed, and you walk into a train.
Yeah, it took a university to figure out that if you put on headphones, you can't really and blare music through them. You're not going to hear stuff going on around you.
It makes you wonder. They actually. I mean, what is the point of these studies? It strikes me that most of these studies done by these universities are like explanations of things that are blindingly obvious to all of us.
Yeah, well, if you put on headphones, folks, and you're blaring music and you're walking around and not paying attention, which, it can happen, you're going to run into shit. And a 50% chance is, these guys say, a freaking train. Oh, God bless universities. Well, that's all I got, Judge.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Hi, folks. Yeah, it's us again, continuing our fascination with urinals and all things of a toilet nature. As you can see at the top here, it says, once upon a time the Rolling Stones lamented they couldn't get any satisfaction. And apparently the Rolling Stones Fan Museum in Germany has similar problems because they've got into trouble from feminists who have taken issue with the museum's urinals, which are very large, red, and look like Mick Jagger's mouth, and I think they're really nice.
Well, I'm not so sure they look like Mick Jagger's mouth. They kind of remind me of the Get Your Ya-Ya's Out album cover, but that one had a tongue in it.
Yeah, well,
Missing a tongue.
what are you going to use a tongue for in a urinal? Come on.
Well, yeah, what are you going to use a urinal for that, is shaped like a woman's mouth? I wouldn't call that Mick Jagger's mouth, would you?
Sort of. If you look right at the bottom of the page, it's actually got the comparison of the two, and it's not too different, actually.
Oh, that's true. Well, some guy designed this thing, I guess, making fun of it.
No, it says the curious twist is that these urinals were designed by a woman.
Well, I mean, what is it? They put these things up in a museum at a Rolling Stones place. I think that's kind of apropos, don't you?
Yeah, of course. If it's a Rolling Stones museum, I think it's outstanding. And also, the museum owner says that's a man's mouth. It doesn't matter whether it's a man's mouth or a woman's mouth, it's art. They were damn expensive and they're staying where they are, and that's fine.
Yeah, you got to like that. Well, whether or not, I don't know. I'm looking forward to listener comments to see if they think that is sexist or not. I mean, So you think it's sexist, Jeff?
No, I don't think it's sexist at all. I think it's great. I'd love one in my bathroom. I don't know about the wife, though.
Well, for all us American people, I'd like to point out that Khloe Kardashian, we all know who she is, at least in America. Judge has never heard of her, but she has bought one of them. Well, there you have it. It's the big urinal lip mouth controversy, and we'll leave you with that.